Yeah.
What?
Oh, no. LiftTheTrucks.com has the juice.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Tell the Tape. I'm your host, Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C. And on today's episode of Tell the Tape, I'm going to be breaking down the potential matchup between Jon Jones Bones versus Tom Aspinall. How is it that this fight will literally take place? Will this fight eventually take place? Will Jon Jones retire? But if he doesn't, if Stipe somehow gets hurt, I like the fact that this fight is between two guys that are going to be really, really good. That's right, the greatest of all time, and Jon Jones, and somebody, and the young buck, the up and coming, the interim champ, Tom Aspinall. I tell you what, guys, I was so wrong on this fight. I thought Sergey Pavlovich, with his power, was going to get the job done. But Tom Aspinall showed that he was able to overcome the power of Sergey Pavlovich, and he was able to get the knockout. So on this episode, I am breaking down Jon Jones Bones versus Tom Aspinall. Guys, this episode wouldn't be possible without our sponsor. That's right, Lifted Trucks. You may be a short kid. You may be 5'4", a twisted steel sex appeal, but guess what, guys? Out on the street, I'm freaking 12 feet tall. So you guys make sure to go Lifted Trucks and get your lift on. Enough talk. Let's take it to the big screen. So here we have it, guys. The tell of the tapes. Jon Jones, 27-1. But you know what? Let me fix that. It's really this. You know what I'm saying? That elbow, to me, that elbow, it's perfectly fine. 27-0 versus Tom Aspinall, 14-3. 10 KOs, 7 submissions to 11 KOs and 3 submissions. So there's one thing that you guys also need to understand, that this dude, as a heavyweight, also has grappling. He also has grappling. He's been able to get submissions through Andrei Arlovsky and people of that matter, but he comes from the lineage of his father, coming from the school of jiu-jitsu. And obviously we can't count out the GOAT. 10 KOs. God, this is against the elite of the elite, with 7 submissions with the elite of the elite. 6'5", we give the 1-inch reach advantage for Tom to look at Jon. Look at Jon's reach, man, which I find it extraordinary as a light heavyweight. I still believe Jon Jones has the longest wingspan in UFC history, even more so. I think he's tied with Volkov, that they both have an 84-inch reach, or maybe Volkov may have it. But either way, Jon Jones, even as a light heavyweight who just went up, has a 6-inch reach advantage on somebody like Tom Aspinall, a big dude, a real big heavyweight. To age 30 to 36. I mean, would you look at that, man? 36, man. Jon Jones has been doing it for that long. I'm 36 too, but I've taken my breaks. I went through the whole wrestling route. I retired for 3 years just like him, but I don't have that many fights. I have 19 fights total in my career. Jon Jones has, 28. So that being said, could the youth, when I think of this fight, could the youth be the difference here? I do want to talk a lot about why is it that this fight is intriguing, because in my eyes, people, this fight is a lot more intriguing than a guy like Stipe Miocic. And I can understand why Johns would want to fight a guy like Stipe, someone who's older in their age, and also someone who's more accomplished. Because getting a chance to watch Tom Aspinall on Saturday and what he was able to do to Sergey, all those little juke steps and how he was able to get caught with Sergey, hurt a little bit, recover, to be able to get the finish, says a lot about this dude. Says a lot. Like in my eyes right now, other than Jon Jones, who is the best at heavyweight, this dude. Getting a chance to study him now, because I'll be quite honest with you, I never really paid attention too much to the heavyweight division, and particularly Tom. But looking back at what he was able to do to Sergey and his techniques, his tactics, how is it that he sets everything up? How is it that he moves agile? How is it that he kicks? How is it that he sets up his shots, his little fakes that he tends to do to catch people? that's gonna make it extremely problematic for a guy like Jon. I know Jon, but fakes and feints, if there's one thing that I could really add to Jones, is that. So when I did get the opportunity to actually coach Jon and spending a lot of time with Jon, like that was the majority of the emphasis for me, was just like him setting up his elbows and things like that, which he already has, but just adding fakes, you know, adding the distance stuff, because there's one thing that Tom Aspinall does have very, very well, and that's distance recognition. Watch him, dude. It's surprising. You don't think you can pick up as a lightweight, as a lighter weight fighter. You don't think you can pick up things from Tom Aspinall because he's a heavyweight. Wrong. This dude is covering distance, the way he's kicking, the way he's faking, the way he likes to be deceiving with his hands to eventually kind of switch it up. And we're gonna do a 5 feedback with him too. But this dude is special. I apologize. I was wrong with Sergey. This dude just has a lot more tools than what I was actually expecting. Whew, yeah. And then we have the stats here. You know, strikes landed per minute, 4.29 to 7.65. In other words, this man right here is a lot more active. This man right there takes a lot more chances, and it's scary because this guy's the greatest of all time. But when you start seeing stats like this get bigger, you're like, okay, then let's talk about the probability game. This guy's taking more chances, so higher risk, higher reward. Strikes absorbed per minute. You know, in other words, the defense, 2.2 to 2.9. You know, because he does throw a lot more, he does get hit a lot more as well. Takedown accuracy, 45% to 100%. In other words, every time this man has shot, every time he's attempted a takedown, he's actually got. I mean, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good with Tom, because he's calculated. He'll be on his feet. He'll find the right timing. Boom, look for his takedown, and that's actually how you get it. To takedown defense, 95%. I think the only time that Jon was taken down was against Gustafsson, if I'm correct. I don't think, did Cormier take him down too? No, Cormier did not take him down. He did not take him down? Yeah, that's a trivia question for all you fans, but you know, one of my producers saying that he didn't. But that being said, Jon Jones' takedown defense, I want to say the only time that I can remember that he was taken down was against Alexander Gustafsson. And this is where Jon Jones is going to have to be real careful, because if you can't take a dude out like this, a dude that has real power, a heavyweight with hands, it's scary. 100% takedown defense. And he does the thing that's right. People will go in for takedowns. He'll end up circling. He'll end up defending, you know, kind of scoring up with his opponent, but he'll end up getting, catching an angle and then creating strikes off of his knees and then to eventually elbow. And he's doing the whole 9. But in a championship fight, this is where you gotta go, bah, bah, bah. This man's experience. Jon Jones at heavyweight. Could a guy like Tom Aspinall go 15, 25 minutes with the greatest of all time? Because as much as the strength that he has of knocking people out, it could also be his weakness. Average fight time, 2 minutes and 19 seconds. In other words, when you get super accustomed to just putting people out, that's all you know, and that's great. But you think you're gonna put the dude out that's a better competitor than he is a fighter? Are you gonna doubt the guy who has been there against the best in the world and is able to dismantle these people? Yeah, he's had close fights, but he's absolutely won them all. And the most important thing with Jon Jones is, what is it that makes him special? It's his damn competitive spirit. He's a better competitor than he is a fighter, but more importantly, it's his experience. It's his championship experience, for that matter. You know, watching Tom Aspinall win the world title, or the interim world title, I mean, he's already celebrating. I mean, it's an interim, Tom. You know, save those tears when you actually win the real bout. You know, like sometimes when I see people like that they just get too emotional after an interim bout, it seems like, yeah, you got a trophy, but it's like they might as well dip that thing in either silver or bronze because it's not the real thing. And I mean that with all due respect. Now sometimes I wonder, I as a competitor, I start to think of their mentalities of what is it that makes them. What is it that makes them, you know, like has he thought that he's reached the pinnacle of the world? And I'm not picking on you, Tom, but I'm just saying, dude, like, save those tears when you actually become and you actually own the undisputed title. You know, I think of this fight and I think of how is it that if I'm Tom Aspinall, how is it that I'm gonna end up fighting a guy like Jon Jones? I will do the exact same thing that you do with everybody else. I'm thinking the distance stuff, the kicking, the setting things up, waiting for your time, and then eventually going. You've done it in all your fights. You've been really successful with all your fights. I think if there's anybody in this fight that really needs to make an adjustment, it's right here. It's the GOAT. It's the GOAT. I don't know if I can put some. It's the GOAT, Jon Jones. And if there's one thing that I will say, dang, that's supposed to be a GOAT, John. I'm not supposed to make you look like a devil. But if there's, maybe we'll do some more years, you know? And I haven't done this, man, you know, because this is, you know, for the GOAT, we have to add the ears. What can I do? How can I make this seem more like a GOAT, ladies and gentlemen? Who's that guy from, the guy with the afro from back in the day? I forget his damn name. But Bob Ross, yeah. Bob Ross, I wish he was here, man. I wish I could, dude, I would have loved to have gone to his schools. But yeah, man, Jon Jones there's a reason why he is the GOAT. But if there's anybody, as I said before, that needs to make adjustments in that fight, it's this, man. It's Jon Jones. You know why? Because this shit right here, is fucking scary. Excuse my French. This thing right here is 100% defense. It is scary, and I did see him. He is a big body, and can you hold him down? Because this guy's striking right now, from what I saw, he's sharp. He's sharp. He sets traps. He's got lateral movements. He kicks. He punches. He'll knee off the clinch. He'll elbow off the clinch, and he's always mixing things up. He's a true mixed martial artist. What's gonna happen? Guys, that's only for us to find out. I mean, we're probably about 1.5 years away from seeing these two fight. I think Stipe Miocic, I would prefer to see this fight rather than Stipe, but for the sake of Jon right now, especially being injured, I think that Stipe fight is you almost wanna call it a tune-up, because the guy that I feel is the most dangerous right now at the heavyweight division, his name is Tom Aspinall. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm your host, Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C. You guys just watched an episode of Tell the Tape where I told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the damn truth. And this video is brought to you by the one and only Lifted Trucks. You may be a short kid, you may be 5'4" of twisted steel and sex appeal, but guess what, guys? On the street in my Lifted Trucks, I'm 12 feet damn tall. So you guys make sure to go to liftedtrucks.com and get your lift on. Till next time, guys, Triple C is out.